Hi, this is Lara at Elliott Wave Stock Market with a free Dow analysis for you for the New York trading session dated Monday the 16th of May. We're also putting our S&P 500 analysis publicly available on YouTube this week and publicly available on our website as part of a promotional week. This is our main wave count for the Dow on a daily chart, which is expecting we're still going to have at least one more upwards wave to end wave 5 blue, which will end wave C black impulse, which will end primary wave 2 zigzag, and it may come to end around about the upper edge of this little pink channel, especially if the upper edge of this pink line crosses over this blue line. It may come to end there at 13,079.92 points. That's where wave 5 pink will reach 0.618, the length of wave 1 pink, and at 13,072.46 points is where wave 5 blue will reach 0.618, the length of wave 3 blue. It's a fairly small target zone. This main wave count is invalidated with movement above 14,198.1, and to the downside, this wave count is invalidated with movement below 12,450.93 points. Taking you to the first of two hourly charts, where the high for 3 and the low for 4. Is this high up here and this low down here. Downwards movement invalidated 2 of our 3 hourly wave counts for last analysis, leaving only 1. But I've adjusted the analysis for this piece of movement for that last wave count that did expect a little bit more downwards movement, and I expect that we may have just seen an ending contracting diagonal over here for wave C green to end a fourth wave zigzag with a very slightly truncated C wave. Although I would actually expect, when markets open tomorrow, one very small little more downwards push to overshoot the 1-3 trend line to make this C wave not truncated to reach ever so slightly beyond A before we see some upwards movement. Each and every subwave of an ending diagonal must subdivide into a zigzag. No problems here with seeing this as a zigzag. We could see this as a zigzag. This piece of movement here on the hourly chart looks most like a 5-wave impulse, but when we look at it on the 15-minute chart, it has a very clear count of 7, which is corrective. So I expect labelling it as a zigzag is not only acceptable, but probably more correct. We can see this is a zigzag and this is a zigzag. So I have checked all of these carefully on 15-minute and 5-minute charts, and we can label them all as zigzags. The invalidation point to the downside is exactly the same as on the daily chart, and as I said, I would actually expect one very small little push down so that the C wave's not truncated for a little overshoot here before we move up. This wave count will be confirmed with price movement above 12,781.06 points, this price point here, because at that stage this alternate will be invalidated. If we simply move the degree of labelling for this contracting diagonal down 1 degree, we may have only just seen wave 1 within wave C green. This is possible and would expect quite a lot more downwards movement, probably for a few more days at least, before wave C green would be complete. The invalidation point may be a little close for that. This alternate wave count may tie in better with the alternate daily wave count, which I'll go to next. This wave count expects an upcoming second wave correction, and wave 2 may not move beyond the start of wave 1. That's why movement above this price point would validate this wave count and thereby confirm our main wave count. At that stage we may be fairly confident that we're in an upwards trend that will last a little while longer at least. This is my alternate daily wave count. I do have another alternate in the historic analysis, but for this one I've simply moved the degree of labelling for this piece of movement all down 1 degree. Everything else is exactly the same as the main wave count. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, we may be looking at an extended third wave within wave 5 blue. The target would necessarily be higher, and at 14,010 points, wave 5 blue will reach equality with wave 3 blue. That will bring price quite close to the invalidation point, and the closer it gets to this point, the closer wave C black will be in equality with A black, which is a fairly common relationship between the two within a zigzag. The invalidation point is lower for this alternate. Wave 2 green may not move beyond the start of wave 1, below 12,093.89 points. If price does manage to break through the lower edge of the smaller pink parallel channel containing my 5 blues so far upwards, then we would expect price to find extremely strong resistance, support, at the lower edge of this wider blue channel. This channel is drawn for the impulse around C black using Elliott's technique with a trend line from 1 to 3 and then a copy on 2. We have a little overshoot for the fourth wave. We would expect all price movement within C black, as it has been for the last year or so, to be well contained in this channel. So I expect any further downwards movement would not reach to this invalidation point. Wave 5 blue, no matter how we look at it and no matter how we label it, must be a 5-wave structure, and so far we only have 1, 2, 3, 4. We need at least one more upwards wave that has to happen to satisfy the structural requirement, whether it be an impulse or an ending diagonal. So that's all for me today with your Dow analysis, and I hope that everyone else is having a fabulous day.